दूसरा हमें चाहिए कि जन आंदोलन की जरूरत है। आप सब यहाँ पे इसका साथ देना पड़ेगा। ये एक व्यक्ति का काम नहीं है, ये हम सबको मिलकर बदलना पड़ेगा। सरकार पर दबाव डालना पड़ेगा, सरकार तक पहुँचाना पड़ेगा कि आप जिस डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हो, जिस विकास की बात करते हो, उसको 100 साल में भी हम वहाँ नहीं पहुँच पाएंगे। जो आपके अभी रास्ता है जिस पे, उस पर हम 100 साल में भी विकसित नहीं हो पाएंगे अगर हम 90% लोगों को विकास से अलग करते रहेंगे, है ना। विकास क्यों, विकास जो भी देश विकसित हुआ है वो विकास को जन भाषा में लेके आया है। ये नहीं कि लोगों की भाषा बदल के कोई और बदलो तब विकास होगा। विकास को जनता तक पहुंचाओ, उनकी भाषाओं में पहुंचाओ, विकास होगा, बड़ी जल्दी होगा। सब बच्चा कोई गांव में भी जाके PhD करेगा, अर्थशास्त्र में करेगा, इसमें करेगा, बहुत जल्दी विकास होगा। तो ये आपका साथ की ज़रूरत है, हाथ बटाइए। आगे नेक्स्ट। तो ये मेरे सब कॉन्टैक्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन है और ट्विटर पे मुझे फॉलो कीजिए, संक्रांति-नीति.org वेबसाइट है। और आप सब जुड़िए तो हम भारत को बदल सकते हैं। नमस्कार।
Will all take questions.
Yeah, it was a very illuminating lecture. You fortunately took solutions also. That is generally missing in our political talks. Okay, so that's what I appreciate. The politicians never promise anything. They promise but they don't deliver. So that's the problem. You took some examples from which I want to draw the importance of this problem, the complex problem that we have. You took the problem, the concept of Israel.
Sure.
Now, Israel prospered due to the fact the need was survival.
Sure.
When there is a drive of survival, you prosper because you say, I want to succeed. You take the example of Japan, the same thing, survival. Korea, same survival. Now, when there is a very powerful need of survival in the world, you raise the top. And in all these examples you see, the key thing for growth has been a language. Israel speaks Hebrew, Japanese speak Japanese, Korean speak Korean.
Okay.
Now, that important link is missing in India. Okay, that's point number one. Therefore, if you want to say an economical power is the one which drives the world, USA is powerful country, Russia, etc. Take example Russia, same thing, language. So economy can be directly linked to the growth of language and how broad-based it is in the country. It is also my view that we missed what we talked today 67 years ago.
Yes.
That is, the Hebrews decided that if I have to do neurosurgery, everything about medicine should be in Hebrew. And that's why the top neurosurgeons in the world are Hebrewish. And Japanese. Okay? So we are driving the point that our leaders missed this 67 years ago. The other important point which I really appreciate is that our model doesn't fit any one nation. Because any one nation, literally the example that I cited, clearly is Israel is 1/10 of Karnataka, 1/10 of Tamil Nadu, 1/10 of Madhya Pradesh. So we can't take that. But Hebrew should be compared to India. Therefore, India has a problem of 29 countries. Therefore, European model is the best model suited for India, and therefore it's very apt that we compare ourselves with Europe. The very fact that also, again the leadership lacking at this time, is that you choose Hindi or English can never be accepted, I can assure you, in Tamil Nadu. Their own pride, understandably so. It doesn't agree in Karnataka with our own pride. Now to me, the basic problem here is There is a deep suited attitude problem in India. I fully agree with you in talent. India is a very talented country. Your example of rural people finding, 33% higher than what US is, etc. is very true. Therefore, intelligence testing should be in the mother language is what I endorse 100%. Because that is what I get easy. But usability, etc. is a different issue. Okay? So using European Union is a very correct example. Okay? But the problem is forcing this is an incorrect. Therefore, I find the solutions a common script, common thing, publishing everything in say 29 languages, etc. is the correct approach. What I foresee is that having missed the bus 67 years ago, it is my personal view, at least it's another 50 years before India can register a language that will take us far. But the worth is effort is worth it. But as you also rightly said, the political will. I don't see it because our political will has the band, I call it shelf life of 5 years. Every 5 years our political will changes.
So I think you've raised good observations. Definitely, India is like Europe. India is a continental in its vision. I agree with you partly that we missed the bus, but I also think that we can catch the train. And the reason for that is that Malaysia actually, I think only about 15 years or so, made this change of switching the codes, 15 or 20 years, switching the codes from English to Malay. And what the policy recommendations I'm making is talking about equal opportunity. It is not talking about saying tomorrow we should stop teaching IITs in English, right? So that is why we still, and also I see that the desperation in India, you're saying that Japan and Hebrew, they were in a desperate situation. I mean, if you look at the poverty in India and look at what we've not achieved in 67 years of independence, if you look at how rapidly they were in a desperate situation, but our GDP per capita was very similar to these countries about 60-70 years ago, right? And we kept stuck in the same problems, the same arguments. We keep repeating it over and over again, and these countries have progressed much more rapidly, right? So I don't think it is too late to learn lessons. So what the response to your question is, I don't think it is too late because 100 crore people have still not caught this bus, right? More than 100 crore people. Only maybe 10 crore people in India actually speak English with any kind of fluency, right? So to continue the system that exists is only to continue apartheid, right? And it is not too late. In fact, it is imperative to do it now. A lot of people think हम आज़ाद तो अभी हुए, अभी तक तो आज़ाद भी नहीं हुए. कई लोगों की ये भी मान्यता है कि भी हमारी सरकार finally somebody who's come from a poor background, who's come from a native background is finally in power. Because अभी तक तो colonial राज ही चल रहा था, है ना, अंग्रेजों का राज चल रहा था. तो अब नहीं change करेंगे तो कब करेंगे? This is the time to do it.
Gentleman in the green t-shirt asked first.
I can speak. So I sort of endorse whatever is spoken here. But then I think compared to other developed countries which we were actually referring to, Korea and Panama, the biggest difference is that opportunities were created inside out. Whereas in India, we have always created opportunities outside it. And until we change that dimension of creating opportunities inside out, this thing is not going to solve by itself.
Can you explain what you mean by itself?
See, we depend on, so there is a big link between language and economy. And today economy is driven by opportunities that come from outside. And until that changes, where we create local opportunities within, it's impossible for us to change this contextually.
I just add a comment to that in the sense that if I had a Hindi neurosurgeon, I don't think he'd find a job.
Sure.
Exactly. So
what is happening is that we are taking a current situation and we are projecting that into inevitability. If you look at the size of our resources, of our human resource, Tamil Nadu alone is bigger than South Korea in population. UP, if UP was a country by itself, it would be the 7th largest country in the world. Just UP. This is the size of our human resource. Hindi is the 3rd most spoken language in the entire world. And to say that we take, a 5th or a 6th of the population of the world and we are unwilling to develop the linguistic infrastructure for it, when Israel, which is smaller than Delhi, can put the investment to develop the linguistic infrastructure for a population of that size, right? We are condemning ourselves to continuous poverty.
So I think you're partly wrong.
Yeah.
So I totally agree with
Yes.
what you say,
Yeah.
right? But then I think it's a mindset thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's that oppression, repression that's been happening for the many centuries. So we are unable to create opportunities with it.
Okay, so
There are resources.
let me answer that. The inside out and outside in thing. So if you look at China, a lot of China's growth has actually been export driven. China created a big, huge manufacturing economy. It's pretty much everything that Walmart sells is made in China, right? So even Japan, there was a lot of exports. The whole automobile industry and all this was created through exports. So I don't think language and export are linked at all. In fact,
Language and economy is linked.
I
Language and
think
economy is linked.
Yes,
That
yes.
extent export.
right. So what I'm saying is that, or even if you take BPO, the example that I gave is that we are saying BPO के लिए अंग्रेजी चाहिए, लेकिन then you're only stuck with doing BPO for 2 or 3 countries. And why are we not doing BPO for Japan? Why are we not doing it for Sweden? Why are we not doing it for Korea? Right? We can learn all these other languages also.
Yeah, I think it's coming.
Yeah.
But then, see, my point is, so there is a difference between the way China dealt with this whole development agenda and how India has been dealing with the development agenda. India, I think, is
But,
more by chance.
Well, it's a bigger question. I don't want to go into all these, but yeah.
Isn't it driven the other way around? Hasn't it been driven the other way around? The BPOs came into India is because Indians knew English better than most other countries.
Yeah, it is, but if you think about it,
Yeah.
BPO work is coolie work, right? So if we want to continue to be coolies for the world, we can think some BPO is this high grade thing that came to us. Why are we teaching children that the highest aspiration to be a BPO? Why aren't children in our village becoming animators? Why aren't they doing top class filmmaking? Why aren't they doing so many cutting edge? Why aren't they becoming neurosurgeons rather than being BPOs? Right? Why are we not creating it?
Especially when we have a 20% higher IQ level.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a question we aren't smart. We have been the center of the knowledge center of the world, for hundreds and thousands of years. There were universities, there used to be international conferences, there are records of this. We can go back and look. There used to be international conferences in Kashmir in which people from Indonesia are coming, people from China and Greece are coming. The people used to send their children to India to get knowledge, to study. And now we've become this complete coolie culture and we think it's some great thing, we are getting some BPO job.
Not able to sustain that also.
Yeah.
Not able to sustain.
My name is Ganeshwa. 2 things I want to just talk to you about. One thing is many of the meetings, see some small organizations I've seen, whenever they conduct meetings like this, small ones, gathering like 30-40 people, they have translators with them. Because when they come, see some foreigner comes, you'll be talking to them in English. If the congregation is gathered of people like Tamil and Kannada, there are two translators. A chota organization like this, if they can afford, why can't we, when some politician or some big scientist come or some big MBA guy comes, they talk to the entire mass in English and they get away.
Yeah.
Can we think of, making this kind of translation compulsory? Like for example, now the same meeting, it's such a wonderful meeting, you give so much of enormous information. That thing is not available for entire Kannadigas here. Because why they didn't come? Because they don't understand Kannada, or English or Hindi. So this is one aspect. Supposing if you have a same meeting in near as a school, nobody will understand, because if everybody is talking to them in Kannada, if you talk in Hindi or English, they will not understand. So you should make it, I think in solution you suggested, if you insist on translation part, having this kind of big interactive meeting which is of national importance, okay, those kind of things should be in translation. Second thing is, in some of the school studies, what I have observed is the subject itself is totally irrelevant. Like, in Kannada they say, illu salala, allu salala. Means neither they can sustain here, nor they can sustain there. One example I will give to make you understand what I am talking about. If I open a subject in CBSE and in ICSE, any of these standard, very high so-called subjects, if you open a geography book, the entire geography book contains something, they are talking about Brazil. You will be aghast, you will not have any sense. Our students who are so good, they are studying in English, they are studying so much of things, they have come from different, especially in Bangalore, students have come from various languages. Can you imagine, they are studying topic in Brazil. Supposing what I thought is, as a simple layman, if all these children who have scored 80, 90, 100 and all that, in their future, will they ever have anything to do with Brazil? No. Supposing, okay, I happen to be very good in Brazil, and if I go and settle down in Brazil, will they give me work? Nobody will care for me. So what is happening? I have expertise myself in Brazil, language of Brazil subject in geography, and if I go to Brazil, they will kick me out because I don't belong to that. So I cannot sustain here as well as there. This is what is called in Kannada, illu salava, allu salava. So can you suggest this?
एक बात पहले बोलूँगा कि हमारी वैसे पूरी की पूरी शिक्षा को बदलने की आवश्यकता है। केवल भाषा की समस्या नहीं है, शिक्षा की भी समस्या है। तो मैंने उसका शिक्षा का पहलू अभी लिया, केवल भाषा से शुरू कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन जो आप कह रहे हो बिल्कुल 100% आई एग्री विद इट। हाँ, दूसरी बात, आपको ज्योग्राफी की बात कर रहे थे, आपको एक बड़ा साधारण सा उसका एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ। अगर आप इजिप्ट में जाएंगे तो इजिप्ट वाले अपने देश को मिस्र बुलाते हैं। हाँ, मिस्र उनका अपना नाम है जो अपने देश के लिए बुलाते हैं। अगर मैं भारतीय भाषा में इजिप्ट के बारे में सीखते तो हम उसको मिस्र बोलते हैं। तो हमने क्या किया, उसका नाम इजिप्ट सीखा क्यों? क्योंकि अंग्रेज़ इजिप्ट बुलाते हैं, अब हमको भी इजिप्ट बोलना आ गया है ना। तो ऐसे टर्की में जाओगे तो टर्की थोड़ी है, उनके देश का नाम तुर्की है, तुर्किया है। हाँ, तो हम अपनी भाषा में तुर्की बोलते हैं उसको। तो क्या हो रहा है कि दोनों बातें हो रही है। एक तो हमारी पढ़ाई बिल्कुल इर्रेलेवेंट है, जैसे मैं कहता हूँ, हम जब पढ़ रहे हैं उसका कोई कारण नहीं है जो हम पढ़ रहे हैं, उसका कोई फ़ायदा भी नहीं है और उससे कुछ बनता भी नहीं है। हाँ, वो अलग एक विषय है, बड़ा विषय है। लेकिन दूसरी बात है कि जो हमारी पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं वो हमको अंग्रेज़ीवाद की जो आँखें हैं उससे दुनिया को देख रही है। अंग्रेज़ों की आँखों से हम दुनिया को देख रहे हैं, अपने आप को भी उन्हीं आँखों से देख रहे हैं और दुनिया को भी ऐसे देख रहे हैं, है ना। तो जब तक हमको अपनी आँखें भी नहीं, दृष्टि भी नहीं मिलेगी, तब तक हम आगे कैसे चलेंगे? तो बहुत
Precise short questions.
I have two questions. One is, in general, people, they like Indian languages, but most often the question I see is, and which you touched in today's discussion, but I would like you to elaborate, is how is that, what's the connection between language and economic development? You touched it a little bit. If you elaborate, that will be good. Second is, many people, they'll support it, but I have been in other discussions also, and it comes to like a because the roadmap to transition from where we are to where we want to go, that is not clear. Right? Two things, if you can clarify.
तो पहली बात तो इकोनॉमिक उसकी, so the economic link I've been talking about in the whole thing, it's a very easy way to understand. In fact, I am working with an economist to create a very precise economic model. But think of the economic model this way. Let us say your job was कि 100 करोड़ लोगों को, 1 billion people, what is the economic cost of converting them to English medium? What is the cost of creating fluency in English for 1 billion people, right? And you compare that with the cost of creating some institutions that cater to those students in their own language. You'll find that it's an order of magnitude different. So we are creating a cost that we cannot even bear. Right now we cannot bear the cost of converting 1 billion people to English medium. It is impossible. So what is happening is that you go into the village, even if you have an English medium school, that teacher can barely speak English in that English medium school, right? They are very, very poor quality. The student couldn't understand English even if it was spoken to them. So they are understanding nothing. Their parents are paying some money out of their pocket because English is supposed to be there. And we're just completely ruining these children. We're not teaching them anything. So that's, and the second is the roadmap. The roadmap in my mind is quite clear. The first step of the roadmap, and in fact Modi ji has taken the first step, which is changing the status of Indian languages in people's mind. जब मोदी जी हिंदी में बोलते हैं, जब वो जो चाइना में चाइनीज़ प्राइम मिनिस्टर से, प्रधानमंत्री से बात करते हैं और वो हिंदी में बोल रहे हैं और चीनी प्रधानमंत्री चीनी में बोल रहे हैं, तो और अंग्रेज़ी बिल्कुल प्रयोग नहीं हो रही, तो तभी बदलाव आ गया, है ना? तो ऊपर से शुरू करना है. हमारी अभी तक भाषा नीति क्या है? वो प्राइमरी एजुकेशन की बात करती रहती है. अरे प्राइमरी एजुकेशन में कन्नड़ होनी चाहिए, ऐसा होना चाहिए. अरे लोगों को अंग्रेज़ी नहीं पढ़नी चाहिए. अरे अगर आप सारे उच्च शिक्षा आप अंग्रेज़ी में पढ़ाओगे तो जो स्वाभाविक ही है, जो माता पिता है वो कहेंगे भी हमारा बच्चा अंग्रेज़ी माध्यम में पढ़े, है ना? तो आपने ऊपर से जो पुल है, जो सारा पुल है वो अंग्रेज़ी का बनाया हुआ है, और आप कह रहे हो नीचे आप उसको बंगाली पढ़ाओ या कन्नड़ पढ़ाओ या तमिल पढ़ाओ, तो वो नहीं चल रहा है. हमको ऊपर से बदलना है. तो मैंने कह रहा हूँ, अगर कल HRD मिनिस्टर डिसाइड कर दे कि हर राज्य का जो IIT है, अब कह रहे हैं हर राज्य में IIT होगा, है ना? हर राज्य का IIT, एक उसके आधे लोग जो होंगे वो उस राज्य की भाषा में इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ेंगे. हाँ, ये डिसीजन लेने, ठीक है, उसमें तो 1-2 साल लग जाएंगे, सब तकनीकी शब्दावली है, पुस्तकें हैं, उसको बदलने में, लेकिन इतना कोई कठिन काम नहीं है. ये बहुत आराम. अभी भी मध्य प्रदेश में उन्होंने अनाउंस किया इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज हिंदी में, कुछ चल भी रहे हैं. अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी विश्वविद्यालय है, उसमें वो पढ़ा रहे हैं. तो हैं और चल रहे हैं. तकनीकी शब्दावली भी बन चुकी है काफ़ी हद तक. तो सिर्फ जैसे मैं कह रहा हूँ, राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति की ज़रूरत है. अगर हमारी विजन हो, अभी हम 100 दिन के प्लान की बहुत बातचीत चली अखबारों में, इस 100-day माइलस्टोन फॉर द मोदी गवर्नमेंट. मैं कह रहा हूँ 100 साल का प्लान क्या है ना? अगर हम सांस्कृतिक दृष्टि से देखें तो मकौले ने 100 साल का प्लान बनाया था. हाँ, उसने कहा था कि मैं अगर ये पद्धति चालू कर दूंगा तो 100 साल में ये पूरे हमारे काबू में आ जाएंगे. हाँ, क्योंकि हम ऐसी एक क्लास बना लेंगे जो अपने आप को अंग्रेज़ ज़्यादा समझेगी और भारतीय कम समझेगी. तो हमारा भी 100 साल का प्लान होने की आवश्यकता है, और उस 100 साल के प्लान में हम 5 साल में बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं.
Take 2 questions. You can take together.
My name is Vinod Kumar. See, one of the things what was coming into my mind is, right now in our country we have a north-south divide. There is a clear divide between the north and south, and if South Indian goes up to north, he is treated as a Madrasi. अगर वो हिंदी बोलेगा या नहीं बोलेगा. So that this is a very clear divide that is there, and even in defense sectors, people who are from say south want to be posted in the south. And earlier days, my father was in the Air Force, so it was called Indian Air Force. Most of them are from Nair, so they say IAF is Indian Air Force. Everybody is like, so there is a clear divide in this country as we are speaking. Now, having saying that, let me create an IIT in Karnataka, we create an IIT in Andhra Pradesh. Are we not further dividing this country into 38 segments and saying that I can never move? Let me say I will do my engineering in Canada. How will I go and work even in Andhra Pradesh? Because that guy doesn't want me. So this is a huge problem that this country is going to face if we are going to pressurize people into this. This is what I was thinking. Because I have been traveling to Europe, and even in Europe we have a problem. The Germans don't like the Italians. We talk about a large Europeans, they are countries. Of course, they can manage to be not seeing the Italian or the German. But here we have a problem. If I don't want to talk, see, hardcore today, we have had issues in Karnataka between Tamilians and Kannadigas and maybe between Maharashtrians, whatever be the problem. It's a politicized problem.